I just wanted to make a video about some of the options you can ride for hard enduro bikes. A lot of people think you just have to have a KTM 300 or Husqvarna 300 or a gas and you got to spend 10 grand just to go riding. Well, that's really not the case. The way I started getting into riding was I started out on a Honda 250, the one you're seeing in the video right here. And this is out in Taylor Park, Colorado, riding South Quartz Creek. You can really do some hard trails on just a little 250. This is a 2004. And this bike cost me $2,200 when I first bought it. After this, I decided I wanted to go into two-strokes, so I bought a KDX 200, and I'll talk more about those later. But there's a lot of super viable, cheap options that really don't hurt the bank too badly. They're pretty reliable, and you can really just absolutely abuse them. The 250X, like the one in this video, was a 2004. This is the generation pretty much after they stopped making XR 250s. So if you get like a 2004 to, I think they made them to 2017 or 2016, 250X, they're great bikes. They had problems in their early years with their valves. Their valves were pretty soft. So I wouldn't recommend getting like a 2004 to 2006, but you get past that and they switched back to stainless steel valves. At least I believe that's what that was. Personally, I think I still like the XR250 over this bike. I know they each have their purpose. Obviously, this bike was faster than an XR250. But either way, they're a good time. And Honda's a great brand overall. Moving on to KDX 200s and 220s, I'm mostly going to focus on like 2006 to 1996, give or take. I know the 220s were only made till 2005. But those bikes, the later generation KDXs, were just phenomenal bikes. This is a 200 here I have on screen here. And it was just I think I paid $1,500 for it. It's just a solid bike, very easy to ride, very good to either a beginner bike or a more advanced rider. You could take it pretty much anywhere the KTM would go. Now in this lineup, I got a KDX 220 and then a KDX 250. Then an XR 650, XR 400, XR 250. I always like having those older bikes. They're a lot of fun. I don't have those anymore. I've only got the KDX 250 and the XR 250 now. But they're great bikes. I would say a KDX is probably one of the best starting bikes for hard enduro that you can get on a budget. This is a video of my buddy riding one of my XR 250s. It was a 2003. Great bike, super reliable. Paid $1,500 for it. All I needed was a valve adjustment. Hands down, one of my favorite bikes to ride. I mean, you can't really go wrong with them. They're a lot of fun. They're easy to maintain. I mean, the valves are adjustable valves. You don't have to shim them. The motors last for forever. I mean, you can get 100 plus hours out of a top end, maybe even 200 depending on how you ride the bike. I think overall, I would pick a KDX as like the number one hard enduro bike to get into, but I think XR is a close second. Then there's some other options I'm not as big of a fan of, like a TTR 250. It's pretty similar to an XR in a lot of ways. You got your DRZ, 250 and 400. Those are also decent bikes, not bad. I'm not really a big Suzuki guy personally, but I think they could be pretty good. I ride KTMs now. You can see on the video this is me riding a KTM. My buddy's about to come up the hill on a Husqvarna. This is out in Grand Junction, riding Skinny Ridge. Now, this video is about budget bikes. I will say, if you can afford to buy a KTM, they are amazing. I've loved every second of having mine. I've got a 2025 factory edition KTM 300 XCW, and it makes riding so easy and so enjoyable. The fuel tank is probably 3 gallons. I get 100 plus miles to a tank of fuel when I'm out riding out west, and it's just a lot of fun. It's very easy to ride. It's got the counterbalance motor. So many good things about it. But if you want to, try to stay under that 3 grand margin, I would say a KDX, an XR. KTM makes a 200, an older 200. Those are good bikes too. I've had one of those. I think you could shoot with any of those three. If you wanted to, you could try a TTR, but I wouldn't start there unless you have to. The parts for the aftermarket options for these other bikes there's so many options. You can really open these bikes up. There's so many good things about them. I've got a few fun clips of these different bikes. Here's the XR coming up a hill. And they make great loaner bikes too. Like if you want to get your friends into riding, this is how I got some of my friends into riding, just by loaning some of the extra bikes I had out. And then they'd want to buy a bike, and then from there I just kind of worked my way into teaching people how to ride.